Hello and welcome. Thank you for joining us. We are broadcasting from the Thomas K. McKeon Center for Creativity, and I'm your host, Corey D. Taylor. We have an amazing show for you today. My guest is none other than Tracy Trost. He's a writer, director, and producer, and he's here to share his amazing journey on what it took for him to make it to success. So if you want to see a great inspirational show, then stay tuned because this is Oklahoma Up Close. How are you, sir?
I'm very well. It's very good to be here, sir. Appreciate it. You're already laughing.
Yes, right, because you're a funny guy.
You see how this is? This is what I have to work with, people. Let's start over. Cut. This is the writer, director, producer part. Jumping in. Ready? Take two.
Okay, so now you're a very funny guy. That's why I'm laughing.
Well,
but that's always great. That's always
about the
good.
looks, though. But
it's about the looks. So
I didn't date a lot.
So here's the question.
Go for it.
So thank you, first of all, for coming on the show. And please keep me from laughing because you're making me laugh a lot. But I wanted to be able to talk to you about your experience as a writer, director, producer. And first of all, I want to talk a little bit about, like, what have you been up to lately?
Oh, boy. Well, as you say, on the writer, director, producer part, I've had the extreme honor to film three feature films here in Tulsa. Honestly, working with the likes of Jim Stovall on the writing side of things. And well, I think one thing that people don't realize, that this market, the Oklahoma market as a whole, the film office has done a great job of pulling, people in, pulling jobs in, but there was already a good base of filmmaking here. And there's crew, there's equipment, there's locations. I mean, basically everything you need to do a nice feature film is all here in Tulsa. And a lot of people don't realize that. You know what?
And that's very important because what I tell a lot of people as I'm doing this show and traveling around doing my own like documentaries and stuff, I'm like, we are in a position where Oklahoma is literally poised to be able to get a lot of national exposure, more than what it is, because we have, like, shameless plug, but Bulldog Entertainment. We have different places that have a bunch of camera equipment. We have a lot of high-end professionals here that have worked all over the country, LA, New York. And what's so awesome is that it's like Oklahoma is like this best kept secret when it comes to filmmaking. And my job and what I hope to do through this television show and other projects that I do, as well as yourself, is to bring some exposure to Oklahoma, to say, this is why the show is called Oklahoma Up Close, because we want to interview people that have made it to national and international success, but there are still these hidden jewels in Oklahoma. So how did you get started into filmmaking?
Oh, man. Well, it was one of those things. It was always thought I could do it, always thought I'd be good at it, but was afraid to try.
Wow.
Honestly. And I had a friend, his name's Dave Campbell, and he works in the industry, and he kept saying, let's do it, let's make a film. So I worked on writing a script. It took, gosh, I don't know how long to write this script, honestly, 2-3 years. Wow. And honestly, it was not very good. And I sent it around and tried to get people interested, and nobody's interested in it. And we just had to keep working at it until we got it to a point where it was a decent script. That one was called Find Me. And then I called up all my friends, all the people in the industry. Hey, I'm going to make a film. We're going to shoot it in 9 days from a Saturday to Sunday. Will you help me? Honestly, and I had 18 people staying at my house, and my wife was cooking for all these people, and I had people at other people's houses, and we just went after it. We shot a film in 9 days called Find Me, and I'll tell you what, for what it is, it's a good little film, and it's actually done really well in the market.
You know what, and that's so awesome because, I remember when I was starting to go out to LA, I was on a plane flying in, and then the guy was like, well, what are you out here for? And I'm like, oh, I'm an actor. He said, oh, you're getting ready to be part of Tinseltown. And he was like, they don't call it Tinseltown for nothing. He said, because it's all about people falling in love with the illusion of Hollywood, the ideal of it. But they don't understand all of the intricacies of the behind the scenes. And what I love about Oklahoma film community, is that this is where the guerrilla style shooting, the independent films, they are really breaking into national levels and internationals in a lot of cases. And most people don't understand that the grit that goes in behind making a film. And I'm hearing you say that I had brought all these people, they're staring in my house, my wife is cooking. So this is, your wife has been engrafted into the whole movie film crew.
I couldn't be the man I am without my wife. I'll say that very, very, very candidly. But the situation is it's a lot of hard work. I get a lot of guys coming to me saying, you know, I want to shoot a movie. I got this great idea.
Right.
You know, can you help me out? And I'll say, work with what you have now. You know, in today's world, the technology, and now, you know, I'm only 23 years old, right? You know? No, but when I was a young man, to get into it, it was hundreds of thousands of dollars of equipment just to be able to shoot or edit. You know, nowadays you can pick up your iPhone, shoot something, edit on your iPhone if you want to, get it up on YouTube, and have something going on. So the excuse of cost of entry and even sometimes knowledge of equipment is gone. Now it comes down to, are you a storyteller or aren't you?
Correct.
And if you can't tell a story, I don't care what kind of equipment's out there, it's not going to make you a good filmmaker. So it comes down to, what is your ability, what is your technique, what is your style, getting that into whatever it is, whatever mode you can. If it's an iPhone, if it's a Canon, you know, DSLR camera, get your friends together, your aspiring actors, and make something. Don't hold back.
Here's the reality, and then you're really touching on this, and this is awesome, because a lot of people get into what I would like to call analysis paralysis.
Yes.
They say, I got this great movie that I want to do, but when they start looking at the logistics of the movie, that can become overwhelming, and then they shut it down. And here's the reality, that there could have been a lot of great movies that could have been made, and you know, Hollywood, they run out of movies.
Yeah, Sylvester Stallone with Rocky.
Right.
You know, he pitched that around to every possible studio, couldn't get it done, and went and did it himself, and then sold it, you know. Do I think Sylvester Stallone's a great actor? Not honestly, but he's a good storyteller.
Correct.
You know, and people found now we got, what, Rocky 27 now, I don't know.
It's about they got the offshoot Creed that's coming out too.
Yes.
Yeah, you know. And,
well, now it's just about money. It's like, well, how else can we just milk this cow just a little bit more? There's one more ounce of milk in there. So I guess the thing to me is, I just say, you know, start where you're at, do what you can. But honestly, if you think you're a filmmaker or you want to be a filmmaker, learn how to tell a story. Because without storytelling, without connecting your audience to it, without moving your audience emotionally one way or another, happy, sad, whatever, angry, it's just a bunch of stuff on, I won't say on film, but now it's a bunch of digits, honestly.
What is it that drove you to say, okay, I'm gonna do this next one?
I remember we were shooting 9 days for Find Me. Day 4, I'm sitting we shot at one of the local colleges. We're in this community room, and you've been on a set, you know, so there's cameras, there's light stands, there's cables, there's dolly track, there's people. You know, on a film set, I call it organized chaos, because it's like all these people buzzing around doing things. Ready, action, everybody's quiet, you do your bit, and cut. All these people are buzzing around, and I'm sitting in the middle of that buzz, right? And I almost start weeping, and I'm like, this is it. This is who I want to be when I grow up.
Wow.
And I was 45 years old when that happened, you know. It's like, this is it. And it's one of those things. I guess I asked people, I was teaching a class at Liberty University, because I shot a film out there with those guys a couple years back, and there was a class of about 30 people, and these are all aspiring filmmakers. And I said, let me ask you a question, class. Is there anything else you could see yourself doing beyond making filmmaking, like being an accountant, being a banker, being a painter, whatever it is? Is there anything else that you could see yourself doing besides making movies? And there's like 5 or 6 guys that raised their hands, and you know, when I asked what it would be, and he said it'd be like a still photographer or something like that. And I said, well, here's the deal, folks. If there's anything else you can see yourself doing, then go do it, because this is too hard. If you're not entirely in love and driven and passionate about filmmaking, it'll be too hard for you, because it'll be a job. Filmmaking is one of those things that has to be that it is part of who you are. And when you are on set, you are in your happy place. You know, I love the process from start to finish. I love the concepting, the writing. I love scouting locations, starting to envision the scenes. I love, one of my favorite things is working with the actors. You know, and my goal as a director when I'm working with an actor is get them to a place that when they do a scene, it's better than they thought it could be.
Exactly.
You know, that we work together on this thing, and
coaching them through.
And they throw me ideas, and I throw them ideas, and we get this scene done. And when it's all done, we're all like, "Wow, that was awesome."
Now let me digress for a minute, because I want to know if you were joking or if this was real. You said I was 45 when that happened.
That's true.
Was that your first film?
Yes, sir.
Wow. And the reason why I'm going to touch on that, because there are people, including myself, that got a late start. You know, I got master's degrees, I went into education, then I started doing acting, and then it hit me. I really enjoy being behind the camera and producing and bringing everybody together to make all of the moving parts work. But it is a lot of work. So what inspired you The hunger had to be great.
It was always there. It was always there.
But it got greater. I mean, what was that turning point that says, okay, because there's a reality. You're 45. In Hollywood, by all standards,
you're done.
You're, right.
Especially as an actor.
Even getting ready to pick it up. You know, so what made you say,
well, I'll make it as quick as possible because I know we don't have a lot of time. At the time, I owned a marketing firm. I had about 19 employees. As a company, we did a book study. You know, so I would pick a book, and then each week we'd go through a chapter. I would buy lunch, bring us together, and we would discuss that chapter. And I would ask the same 3 questions. How can I apply the truths of this chapter to myself here at the company? How can we do it as a company as a whole? And then 3, how can we as a company teach our clients the truths of this chapter? How can we be a positive influence on their lives? Not just service them in the marketing, but also as individuals. Because in business, it's always people working with people. You know, you can't do anything without people, right? So anyway, we were reading a book, and that book asked the question, if you could do anything you wanted to be, money weren't an issue, failure weren't an option, anything you wanted to be, that thing that describes you the most, what would that one thing be? So I went around the room. One girl said I'd be a masseuse, another one said I'd be a photographer, another one said I'd move to Colorado Springs. And so my question to them after that was, okay, so what are you doing on a daily basis to get there?
Exactly.
Right? Because every trip, if I'm going to California from now, there's planning. I have to figure out my route. Somebody going to pick me up. Am I getting a car? Anything that we do in life, we plan and we lay out plans, and then we follow that plan, and it gets us there. But in our normal lives, we just kind of float. We get a job. And the hard part is, like, you may have this dream of being a filmmaker or an actor, but then you got married. And all of a sudden kids start coming along. Well, now I got to pay the bills.
Exactly.
You know, I got to have a job. And your wife's going, it's awesome you're going to be an actor, but you got kids that want to eat tonight. You know?
That's me. I get it. I get it.
So we as individuals get forced with, I have to make a living, but I have this dream inside of me.
Correct.
So one of my employees said to me, so Tracy, what would it be for you? If you could do anything you want to do, be anybody you want to be, failure weren't an issue, money weren't the problem, what would that one thing be? And I said, well, that's easy. I direct movies. I've always thought that's who I am. Always wanted to be. But I did the same thing. I had to start a company. I had to make money. I got to, raise my children. And she asked me that question. So what are you doing on a daily basis to get there? And I said, you're fired. Get out of here. But that was an eye-opening experience for me. I was like, yes, what am I doing?
And you know what? And that's awesome that you said that, because the one thing that I notice as we bring, and no disrespect to LA or New York or any other film communities, but the thing that I'm hearing that's a reoccurring theme is that so many of the filmmakers that come out of this Midwest Oklahoma area, they always have this heavy element of inspiration, and that inspiration drives them to move it from just, audio or lectures based to saying, let me create a three-dimensional image that I can get my message out. Mm-hmm. And here it is, you're throwing that to your people, but then you're realizing that, okay, I got to take an introspective look at me, because I can't be a leader to them if I'm not doing what I'm trying to get them to go into. Is that correct?
It's true. And I tell you what, I advanced many of my employees through my employ, because I pushed them. Okay, you can work for me, you can be at my company and do a fantastic job, but if this is not who you are, then you're not doing yourself or me any good. So that one girl went to massage school, and now she is a professional masseuse. The other one moved to Colorado Springs, and the other one is now a photographer. And we pushed them to go there. Yes, I lost very good people in my company, but I would rather have them be somewhere living their dream than squelching their dream working for me.
Now, let me ask this question, because you're not originally from here.
No, sir.
But how long have you been in the Tulsa community?
Moved to Tulsa in 1999, so 16 years now. And had many opportunities to move away, but my wife and I and my 5 children, we love Tulsa. And it's not just the area, it's the people.
Wow.
Yeah, it's the community.
Now, in addition to you saying that you inspired your staff to go on and you lost some great people, that's not conventional wisdom nowadays, because so many people are after the buck. And here it is like my biggest goal is to help people be inspired and advance them into whatever they're called to do. How does that fit? Because did it ever get scary that, okay, now the company is getting ready to go through a rough spell?
No, you have to, let's look at how you measure success. What is true success in life? If you measure success by the dollars or material possessions attained, then you're a very shallow person, sadly. But if you measure success by the lives touched and the lives advanced, then you're a very wealthy person. And I believe if I take care of people, people will take care of me. You know, there's that whole do good to others, do unto others as you would have them do to you. So if I can help somebody advance their life, I believe the Lord's going to advance my life, honestly. And so that's been my philosophy, and it's worked, you know, from business to business. I have another business that I'm running right now. I have 10 employees, and I have the very best in the industry, and we are making huge waves. But I'll tell you what, these people are my friends. And the people I have working with me now in this production, the commercials that we're doing, they love what we do, and they love working together. So you can focus on what you're saying, and I think a lot of people would say that, well, if this person leaves me, then I've got this big hole. Trust me, if you take care of that person, the right person will come back and fill that hole. It'll take care of it.
And you know, that's so true, because, you know, when you, first of all, when you already have had a successful career in something other than filmmaking, and then you tell all the people around you, in some respects, that I'm getting ready to go and pursue this dream to do what I feel like I'm called to do. I don't know if it was the same for you, but for me, a lot of people thought I was crazy or went off to the loony bin, and it's like, why are you playing every day? Get a real job. And I'm like, I've had the real job. I've sat there, and my daughter was the one who looked at me one day when she was like a junior in high school, my oldest daughter, and she said, Daddy, when you worked for yourself and you were doing stuff in entertainment, you were the happiest person in the world. And I looked at my wife at that point, and I was like, oh, well, I'm going to have to do something, because evidently I'm hearing her say two things. You're still a great dad, but we're not seeing you at the level of happiness and where you want to be, where you should be. And it was that decision back in 2011 that I made a decision to walk away from all of the conventional wisdom of a regular job and start to do what I'm doing in entertainment. And I have a great wife who supports that 100%, because reality is I couldn't do it without her. You know, so when you say that your wife is a great support for you, like, give me some of those attributes that about her that makes her such a good supportive base, besides letting you go and help do your dream.
Well, it's not about letting me go, it's about going with me.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. And that's a big part. But coming back to what you were saying earlier about what your daughter was saying, you had a change of thought, and you had a shift in reality, and that went from success is this job, this house, this car, to success is being happy. And I think that's where most people struggle in life, that they think, are you willing to give up the big house, the big car, or the nice clothes, whatever it is that you're measuring success by now, to basically live in your happy place, to be that person. And the thing is, if you will go to where happiness brings you, success will follow you. We have to stop seeing money as something that we earn and move it to something that is a reward. And the money will follow you. If you go into where you are living within your, I would say, your happy place, or your best, I don't know, best abilities, like with me with directing, it's where I thrive, then the money will follow. And it's a hard change in thought and shift in reality to get to. And I think you've probably...
I'm there.
Here's the thing, Corey, we've never met before today.
Correct.
Right, I don't know you. I don't know anything about you, honestly. Okay, but I'm getting the idea that your change in career and change in life outlook has brought you to a much better place than you were before.
Yes, it's brought me to a much better place, because the one thing that excites me is when I come in here and sit in this set and I get to share people's amazing stories, and I know there's viewers that are going to look at that and they're going to be inspired and say, man, if they did it, I can do it. Especially like when you said, you know, I started that venture when I was 45 years old. There are going to be some people that thought that their dreams had died, but now they are going to be able to look and say, you know what, because I heard Tracy, I can go on and do this. You know, I remember that when I wrote my first book, I had tried to start writing books. I get to the first chapter, I put it down, and so then once
that's just fear. That's all that is, though.
Yeah, but then I I was working a job. I traveled all the way to upstate New York, and I heard this young millionaire by the name of Far Gray. He was 15, and he got, you know, created a company, made a millionaire, but then now he was 20-something years old, 21. And then I listened to him talk, and he told the story about a man. He said this man called him mad and angry one day, and he said, well, you're a millionaire, but what gives you a right to tell me what to do, because I'm 60-some years old? And he was like, well, sir, why are you angry with me? Just find out what you're good at. And he said, I know what I'm good at. He said, well, then share it with me. He said, I'm a singer. And he started singing, and he sat and he listened, and this was his words exactly. He said, and after it was over with, I said to the man, that's not what you're called to do. And then the man was like, oh, he said, he said, sir, don't get offended. He said, but I want you to go back and think about what did you do in the past that made you happy and made you the most content in life or satisfied. And he said, well, I used to paint long time ago. And then he was talking to the guy and he said, well, what I want you to do is go back and pursue that. And then that's it. Months or a year later, he gets a call from the same gentleman. That gentleman has sold his very first painting for $1,000. So here it was, he was in like his late 60s and getting a new lease on life because of the things that he heard.
And while
so while I'm sitting here hearing you, that's what I am imagining that a lot of people listening to the show are going to get. So that led me to write my first book, The Other Air, a real world alternative to the millionaire. And so when the book first came out, my publishers was like, oh, Corey Taylor, talk about how to get rich. I'm like, that's not even the purpose of the book. You know, it's an alternative saying that money is great, but it's not the end all be all. There's other ways to measure success. And so with that being said, not only are you a director, writer, and producer, but you're an author as well of several books. So talk to me a little bit about your latest project.
Well, the most recent book that came out, I'm working on, actually, you want to talk about what I'm working on right now?
Yes.
The one I'm working on right now is called The First 50, and it's basically, I just turned 50, so the first 50 things that I've learned in the first 50 years of my life.
Nice,
you know,
love that.
What are those first 50 things? And honestly, they're mostly basic, but I think I mean, you're a young man, what are you, 29, 30, right?
Nah.
Wait a second.
I can't tell everybody what
I want on camera. I want to hear. I want to hear how old you are.
Believe it or not, I am. No, I'm actually 43.
See, look at that. He's a young man. I'm 51. Come on, man.
Right.
Sorry, buddy.
He's like, oh, well, I got to be honest with my viewers.
Cut.
I have to be honest to my viewers, but I don't look 43.
You look great. What are you talking about?
Yeah,
you're a handsome individual.
Well,
Anyhow, so back to the first 50. These are when you start to hit your 50s or older, right? You start to see life a little bit differently. Again, as a young man, you're thriving, you're striving, you're trying to conquer, you're trying to establish. And sometimes you step on people as you do that. Sometimes you don't really realize what's the most important thing. Sometimes you don't spend the time with your family that you should have, and you start to see the results of what your life can be later through your family. So the first 50 is these 50 things that I've learned, you know, importance of family, the importance of how do you truly measure success, you know, because again, in America, we're very materialistic, and so it's like men. It's like when I meet you, you know, hi, Corey, Tracy, you know, what do you do? You know, that's the first question that always comes out.
Yes,
I'm measuring you.
Right. Correct.
So do you make more money than me? Are you more successful than I am?
That happens.
Okay, but the truth is, who gives a rip? Honestly, what does that matter to the great scheme of life? So you start to realize that the important things in life really are the other people around you. In the end, and you always hear these deathbed kind of situations is, I wish I would have spent more time with my family. I wish I wouldn't have been at the office. The money is what's as important. I wish I hadn't bought that couch and I would have taken a vacation or something. So this book is really me measuring life and the things that I've learned in the first 50 years of my life. Some things I wish I would do differently or could have done differently, but mostly as I don't want to say a warning, but as a guide to those who are younger, to if you could take, and you know, it's like that whole thing, if I could meet the 25-year-old me, what would I tell myself? Well, dude, okay, the money's not what's important. It's your wife. It's the status isn't what's important. It's about changing people's lives. You know, those kind of, follow your passion, follow your dreams. Don't try to get the big house right away. Do something that you love, and then the money will follow you. Things like that I would tell myself, basically, as a younger man.
Toby Keith, another Oklahoman.
What if I died or something?
Well, my list.
Live like the last day of your life?
Yeah, it's like say a little prayer, you know, in this song is like under an old brass paperweight, my list of things to do today. And then through this song, he talks about how he's done all these other things, but the most important things he started listing on the thing like playing with his kid, playing ball, and putting a little bit more money in church. And it was such a moving and powerful song that when I got a chance to meet Toby, I said, out of all of the music I've heard of yours, that was probably one of the most profound, life-changing songs I've ever heard. And it did something to me when I actually heard that song probably about 8 years ago, because that's when it really started clicking with me. I've been chasing, at that time, I had been chasing money for so long, and I got had some big roads of, big success and money, but I still wasn't happy. It wasn't until I started applying myself to the things that I was passionate about that brought the happiness in. So your new book is going to touch on a lot of that stuff.
A lot of that too. And I think the biggest thing that we have to understand is to not really care. And when I say that, not care about what other people think of me. Again, we try to measure ourselves against other people. We try to establish ourselves. So it's like, say you had a job where you're pulling down 6 figures and it's a little bit higher elevation. When you went and met people and shook hands, like, oh yeah, I'm a so-and-so here, I'm an exec VP, blah, 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 I live in this big house. Then if you say, okay, I have to give up a little bit of that money and maybe move to a smaller house to follow your passion until things start to ramp up again. As men, we're almost embarrassed by that.
Correct. Which
we should be the most proud about that.
Yes.
If we really measure what's important. Should be, what do you do? Well, I'm a filmmaker, I'm following my dream. Do I make as much money as I used to? No, but that's okay. I'm happy. We got to stop measuring ourselves by money, by things like that. Now,
Tracy, this show, Oklahoma Up Close, is all about helping people to understand, again, what is important and be inspired and talk to them about success. So in about 30 seconds, what would you say it would take for our viewers to get an understanding from your perspective of what it would take for them to be successful?
Well, I think the biggest thing again is let's define success. Do we define success by money, by possessions, by status? If we do, you will never be satisfied. You will never be fulfilled as an individual. What we need to do is measure success by those around us. Our families, our friends, and those that we have an impact on every day. If I can, and I tell my employees this when I hire somebody, my goal with you is to make you the best person you can be. At the end of your term with me, be it 6 months or be it 6 years, I want you to walk away and say, because of my time with Tracy, I am a better person. And it's not about I make more money or I have more possessions. It's that I have more of a well-rounded outlook on life, and I've learned to appreciate the things that I have in my life. And I think that's the biggest thing. You interviewed Jim Stovall, who's a very good friend of mine. I respect him highly. And Jim taught me something early on, and he has his golden list, and I'm sure he told you about that. And he says every morning he picks 5 things that he's thankful for, and that is his golden list. So I would say start out there. What are the things that are important to you in life? Learn to be grateful, learn to be thankful, and I think you'll start to see life a little bit differently.
Well, Tracy Trost, thank you so much for coming. It is my pleasure.
My pleasure, sir.
I hope you've enjoyed our show today. I would like to thank my amazing guest, Tracy Trost, for stopping by and sharing his life journey with us. Think about this. Change is inevitable, but your attitude towards that change, it is always optional. Until next time, keep looking forward.